Hey there, everybody. Welcome. And welcome to our weekly show. We call it Three Broke Guys Handicapping. It's where we review one of the top racing cards from around the United States. We will select a pick four sequence from that track and attempt to come to a consensus on a pick four ticket. Thank you for joining us. Tonight is one of our two annual stops to one of the hotbeds of thoroughbred racing, as far as I'm concerned. We're going to Arkansas for week number 11 of the racing season. This week is Oaklawn Park in Hot Springs, Arkansas. There are three stakes overall, and the pick four starts with race number 8 and finishes in race 11. Two stakes in the pick four on Saturday. My name is Rich Sharp, and each week I'll be joined by my friends and racing analysts. And first up, it's the birthday boy, so Ray Torado. And he's joining us from Ice Station Zero, which some people call Staten Island, New York. So happy birthday, belated Ray. How you doing, buddy?
Thank you. Happy birthday. I got a nice storm on my birthday. Got about 7 inches of just pure ice. Hard snow. It wasn't fluffy. It was hard snow. So, but it was a nice day. I got to stay home and bet a little bit of Sam Houston track. So it was a nice day.
All right. And over on the other side of the country, and he's coming to us from his home in smoking hot Temecula, California. His name is Joe English. And Joe, I wanted to wish you a happy St. Patrick's Day. Ray, I wanted to wish you a happy St. Patrick's Day. And for
Thank
anybody
you.
who's going to bust me on saying, hey, you know what? Rich
My
isn't
mom's
wearing
birthday
green.
too.
I would just like to point out that I'm a Laker fan, and I don't actually own anything that's green, folks. So, but happy St. Patrick's Day, Joe. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Rich. And
And my
yeah, and
mom's birthday.
happy birthday, Carmen, and belated
Yes.
happy birthday to Mr. Torado. We've been celebrating a lot of these. God, it's been a long time, but happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay, so gentlemen, as much as it pains me to say it, Oaklawn Park is really where the legend of American Pharoah began, and that's really where it bloomed. Bob Baffert's spectacular colt won both the Rebel Stakes and the Arkansas Derby on his way to capturing the Triple Crown. He came and went so quickly, we barely knew him. His racing career spanned just a total of 18 months from his maiden-breaking score to his triumph in the Breeders' Cup Classic. So I'd like to ask both of you, think about it. Can you name another favorite of yours that comes to mind who had an equally brief, if not as successful racing career? And Joe, this week you can go first.
Okay, I usually take this a little off the board. If I had to say a horse, it would be Shared Belief. He was so spectacular and so brilliant in the races that we did get to see him. But I'm going to go a little off the board too. There's two other things related to horse racing that actually had short shelf lives, and unfortunately, I don't know if they're ever going to come back. And that's two television shows: Luck, the HBO series that ran for about a year, and the Esquire series, Horse Players. And Rich and I got to meet Kevin Cox, who was one of the horse players last week, and we were discussing the show, and we talked to him about how much we missed it. And I still go back and watch reruns of it, and I was watching it last night. So, like I said, I usually try to take this off the board. Shared Belief would be the horse, but the series, Horse Players and Luck, were two series that were 8 to 10 episodes long, and not nearly long enough, in my opinion.
Boy, all three of those are excellent selections. Okay, Ray, over to you. Who came to,
All right, there was a horse.
too fast and too quickly?
There was a horse in 2000, came out as a 2-year-old. He won a few races. He broke his maiden impressively. Went to Champagne, and he won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Champion, 2-year-old champion, Uncle Mo. And I really liked that horse. And he was going to be, really, really good. But, as a 3-year-old, things didn't work out. I mean, they actually made a race for him in Gulfstream. I remember the mile race, the Tommy Ryder, and he won that impressively. Went to the Wood, faltered, won the 5, finished third, and then scratched out of Derby, and we know what happened after that. He was laid off until like late August. Came back on Travers Day. Didn't run in the Travers Day. He ran in King's Bishop, and came in. I think he came in like second. He got missed by Careless Posse beat him. And then I went to the Breeders' Cup, and I mean, actually he won the Kelso in a nice race he won. But the Breeders' Cup he fell, flat, and then they just retired him, and he was gone. And I'm glad he's come back with force as a sire because he had that bloodline. and I'm glad he came back. He actually signed a Derby winner Nyquist last year, and I just wish him a lot of luck continuing in the style. If you ever see Mo in the name, that's him, Uncle Mo.
Excellent. Those are two
Yeah.
excellent words, actually. Uncle Mo and Shared Belief. And a special nod there to horse players. Um, I really did love that
I
show.
missed
And
that
Joey
show
has been,
too, horse players. Yeah.
And I mean, Kev Cox was a treat last week. So. All right. So,
They
and
should make
speaking of,
different years of them.
speaking of horse players and speaking of Kevin Cox, Joe and I actually did get to meet him last
Wow,
week.
nice.
Was Santa Anita Park. We did not hit our pick 4 again, converting on just just 2 out of 4 selections. And once again, our hit percentage so far this year, it's just a little bit over or north of 50%. So, but you know what? Not all the winnings at the track are paid in greenbacks. My fellow broke guy Joe English and I spent the morning at the Big Cap at the Clocker's Corner. And before I give you our Oaklawn Park weather update, I want to give you guys a quick look at some of the sights that we got to see last week as Santa Anita Park lived up to its name. It's a great race place. So,
That's nice. Right after that, the
Here we
guy
go.
named says racing.
all right, here we go. Let me see if this comes across for you guys. All right. So just a few snapshots from what I will
Nice.
say personally was probably one of my best experiences ever at the racetrack, and I couldn't experience it. Joe hit the nail right on the head when he said there were only 2 things that could have made that day any better, Rich. 1, winning money, and 2, Ray being with him.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, it was like I kept describing it as nirvana for horse players, especially Southern California horse players for sure. You seen Dick Mandela and Phil D'Amato and Bob Baffert and Gary Stevens and Victor Espinoza. It was awesome.
That's nice. Yeah, very nice. I won't say why I did. It was kind of it would ruin the moment.
All right. It's time for a brief weather update from Hot Springs, Arkansas. The forecast for Saturday calls for some clouds in the morning. They're going to give way to mainly sunny skies in the afternoon, and there is a slight 20% chance of rain shower. The high is 74 degrees, and the winds are coming in from the east-northeast at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. For anybody who's watching this show, or if you're listening, or if you know anybody out there, the Three Broke Guys, we are once again searching for a weather person. If there is a young person out there that would like to get some airtime showing their skills as a meteorologist, and you like doing this little weather segment the way that we do, in this case, instead of the way that we did it the first time, we are actually going to have you come live on the air with us, so you will be kind of like a third and a half broke guy, if you like. And you will come on and go ahead and give us the weather update from the many beautiful racetracks around the country. We would love to meet with you. Our handles are out there. You've got Zoom a Point at Twitter. I believe Joe English is Joe English 16, or are you Joe English 8?
16
at Twitter. And we've got Ray Rock 4 at Twitter as well. So any of us, or you can just go to Three Broke Guys Handicapping at Twitter and just signal your interest, or contact us through the YouTube video here if you want to leave a comment for us. So. A total of 11 races. There's 3 stakes on tap for Saturday. For today, we are focused on the pick 4, beginning in race number 8 and concluding in race number 11. Gentlemen, the gates are locked and loaded. The outriders are clear, and the starter is ready to pop the gate. It's pick 4 post time.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
Race 8. The approximate post time is 5:57 p.m. Eastern Time. A mile and a 16th on the main track. It's the Essex Handicap. The purse is $250,000. 4-year-olds and upward. 8 starters, and your 7-5 favorite is in post number 2. Bob Baffert and ridden by Mike Smith. Ray, it's ironic, right? We handicapped the pick 4 at Santa Anita last week and did not mention Bob Baffert's name even once. We move 1,000 miles east, and the Silver Fox has the chalk in the opening leg. Who do you like in the X?
Yeah, more spirit. I mean, number two, he's the most likely winner to get the class edge. But he's not a win machine. He's 3 out of 10, so with 5 seconds. He led to San Antonio until mid stretch until opportunity caught him. I did get a chance to see a workout that he had with American Anthem. And let me tell you, they rolled like 6 furlongs and 111 and change. They were going head and head, American Anthem back and forth, and American Anthem pulled away at the wire. It was a nice workout for both of them. Really was. I mean, they were really pushing. You get Smith and Baffert. He should be tighter because it's his second 2-turn race in a 3 race cycle off his layoff of last year. But he's not a single for me. I like Dalmore, number 4, 6-1. I like to switch to Espinosa, who may be a little more aggressive with him. He could prompt the pace, be a stalker, and ride off a shotgun cowboy, and maybe make a run. He's 3 out of 16 lifetime, but he's been facing Opportunity, Midnight Storm, California Chrome, those names. But he gets the breaking weight here, 116. So I'll give him a shot here. And I like the horse on the inside, number 1, Shotgun Cowboy. He gets the speed from the rail. He's 5-1. He likes the track. He's 2 for 3. He's 2 for 2 this year. It's a nice test for him. He come out of the claiming ranks. That's our old 3BG angle. The optional claimers can compete in these, mile stake races, ungraded or grade 3. Or grade 3. Alex Bizzo seems to have gotten them to relax and run well. So those are my picks there, the 2, the 4, and the 1 in this Essex handicap, which is actually ungraded, but it's still worth a good change, $250,000. That's a nice piece of change. All right, Joe, up to you.
Yeah, Ray. It's funny. I was looking at the purse, being that it's 250,000. I was like, man, what do you have to do to get a graded earning?
Right?
What do you have to do to get graded? Yeah, exactly. For
Sure.
250K. I mean, heck, we run grade 1s out in Southern California for about that money, and sometimes even less than that.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm surprised that it didn't get a grade 3, and maybe after this race, depending on who or what, how well they run, and how well they come out of this race, maybe in the future this will be a graded race. I could have swore it was a graded race before this, and maybe it's just escaping my memory why who would have won it that would have made it not a graded race. But anyway, I like the 1, and I think he's got a real big shot here to go all the way wire to wire. I got a chance to watch his last 2 races, and he's been on the lead, and I really don't, as much as Dalmore could be possibly somebody who ran outside of him. He had some pressure last time, and he was actually even able to sit off a little bit of a lead last time out. He loves the track, and I don't know that there's really going to be a lot of pace pressure. He drew away from that field last week pretty easily. Well, not last week. It was about a month ago. But he's also 3rd in the cycle. He's got a really good draw. He's been running again. If you look back to his form last year in 2016, second in the grade 3 Cornhusker, second in the Lone Star Park handicap, second in the Texas Mile. So this horse is not a horse that doesn't have class. He even ran 4th in the Razorback last year when Upstart won that race. So he obviously has a touch of class. Trainer's 3 for 6 at this meet, 28% last year. Trainer's also the owner and the breeder, so he's got a lot at stake in this. And the horse is undefeated with Alex Berzer in the saddle. So I'm going with the 1 as the lone speed, and they're going to have to come and beat him. I'm going to actually go back to another old friend as my other pick in this spot, and that's the 7 Domains Rep, who we picked last year. Another who loves the track, 5 for 8 at Oaklawn. Finished 3rd behind a pretty good horse, Gunrunner, last time out in the Razorback. Gunrunner is obviously going to try Arrogate in the Dubai World Cup next weekend. Gunrunner was not going to get beat that day anyway. So I actually looked back and I don't know how you say Hawakam was actually, he rode the rail the whole race, and Domains Rap was wide around the turn. So I think that this horse is going to be better, going to be a little bit tighter. He's another one who could be a little bit closer to the lead. Trainer's doing well at the meet. Again, 5 for 8 over the track, and 7 of 8 in the trifecta at Oaklawn. Again, I think he's going to have a little bit of a pace advantage as well. He may be the one to sit off of Shotgun Cowboy, and if for whatever reason he doesn't fire Domain's Rap may be the one who's on the lead heading for home. So I just went those two. I just went with 1-7 in this race. But it's funny because I was thinking about More Spirit, and I was looking at Formulator, which of course I'm going to tout again. And Bob Baffert's, if you look at Bob Baffert's stats in Formulator, he's only run 3 older horses at Oaklawn Park in the last 5 years. One of them was a filly, Plum Pretty, who won the Azeri, I want to say. It was either the Azeri or the Apple Blossom. I believe it was the Azeri. And 2 other horses, 2 males, Governor Charlie, I can't remember who the other one was, but they both did not win. So most of his success, I mean, he's been fantastic at Oaklawn Park, but most of his success has been with 3-year-olds. Obviously, Cupid, horses like Cupid and American Pharaoh. So he's not as good with older horses. And I see Rich actually had put the big cap with the question marks on it. And it's a good point, Rich. Why not stay at home? If he was going to be good enough to win a grade 1, why? Yeah, exactly. Why for $750,000? Why wouldn't he stay at home? Maybe Bob just figured this would be an easier spot, and based on the way Shaman Ghost at Midnight Storm ran, he might be right that this is an easier spot. But I don't know. I'm just gonna, like Ray was saying, he has more of a tendency to be in the runner-up spot. So I'm going to play against the 7-5 morning line favorite in this spot for me. So it's just 1-7. Rich?
I didn't have any different, as you guys already said, I didn't have any way different than the 2 of you have already talked about. So I did have More Spirit on my top line. I've got the 1 as my backup pick here. I like the speed horses here. So this is, even though it's a little bit of a longer distance race for older horses, you are looking at still something on lines of 60% going to the early speed types, and you have 20% that go wire to wire. And Alex Berger obviously knows how to ride him. Joe already documented that, but he's perfect on him. So, and this is C.R. Trout's pet. You know, he bred him, he owns him, he trains him. Sure, but he's not racing him. So, I just used those 2. I did put, if I had a third choice, I couldn't help it. I had used the same third horse that we ran into last year. But I believe, if I was thinking, Domain Rap was the one that denied it before last year. So that's what Domain is, our old friend. He won this race. He was down here. Back like that. But we've seen Domain Rap before. But I only throw him my second line. I've got the 1 and the 2 on my top line. Joe's got the 1 and the 7, the 1, the 2, and the 4 on his top line. All right. Come on back. Ta-da. And we are moving along to race number 9. This one's going 6 furlongs on the main track. It's an optional playroom for non-winners of 2. Purse is $83,000, and that includes $53,950 from the ESG Purse Fund. And boy, I'm going to figure out what the ESG Purse Fund is, because I did my research today and I could not find out what that is. For 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races other than maiden, claiming, starter, or restricted, or which have never won 3 races, or claiming price of $45,000. I love these races. 10 starters, and your morning line favorite is in post number 1. Manhattan Mischief, trained by J.R. Caldwell and ridden by Ricardo Santana Jr., comes in as your 3-1 morning line favorite. Steve, you and our fellow broke guy here got into a little Manhattan Mischief back in your heyday. So, what, you buying the favorite tonight, or who do you like in the 9th?
Did you? I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Were you tossing it to me, Rich, or?
Yeah, I'm tossing it to you, Joe.
Okay, thanks. No problem. I went with a long shot here. I do like the favorite. He's got a lot of speed. Caldwell likes to bring his horses back quick, but I just think I see pace meltdown when I'm looking at this at the PPs here. The 1's got speed, the 2's got a little bit of speed, the 4 can press the pace, the 6 has some speed, the 7 has speed, the 8 has speed, the 10 have speed. So I'm expecting a closer to win, and obviously we see horses like Sudden Breaking News and Creator won races here last year. I know this is a 6 furlong race, and generally 6 furlong races are more for the swift. I just have a gut feeling that there may be a pace meltdown. I went with the 3, Operation Stevie. In that last race, I know some of us I know the Southern California contingent will recognize the name of the horse that won in that last race, Jazzy Times. You guys remember that horse was in Bob Baffert's care and actually was scratched from the Malibu. I think it was, I don't want to say it was 20, it might have been 2016. Now he's with Brad Cox, and he won that optional claimer last time. Double hours.
Times, huh?
That's that Jazzy Times. Like I said, he's with Brad Cox now in Oklahoma. Again, tip of the hat to Formulator. And Double Hours, the horse that finished third in that race, was the other speed. And if you look at the pace, it looks like the pace wasn't really very quick early. And this horse closed from way back to finish second. He wasn't going to get to Jazzy Times, but he did end up beating Double Hours. And he was actually giving both of those horses weight last week. So I like I said, this is more a pace play for me with the speed and all of it that looks like it's lined up. This horse could have a meltdown. This horse could be beneficiary of a meltdown. And this trainer, even though it's only 4% for the current meet, for 2016 the trainer was 24%. So don't it may be a little bit of a slump. And of course the horse ran well, considering that the barn's only 1 for 24, and he's one of the horses that's run well for this barn at this meet. So I'm going to give this horse a shot you're not going to get 68-1 like you did last time. I just like I said, I'm seeing pace meltdown. So I went with Operation Stevie on top. I also like the one, like I said, Manhattan Mischief is probably the best of the speed, and the trainer Caldwell likes to bring his horses back quickly. And in this case, that's not an exception. February 26th to March 18th, so it's about 3 weeks. Probably the best of the speed. Drew the rail. He's going to have to break well. If the horse doesn't break well, obviously going to be up against it. And I added the 10 a little bit. Bolt Hall, coming out of obviously not a great performance last time out. Again, this is a trainer angle. Vasquez stays aboard, and the horse was a $360,000 yearling purchase. So obviously somebody saw something, and the horse was actually a long time ago trained by Todd Pletcher. So the horse had some ability. And the other angle I looked at with this horse is that the horse was, as a 4-year-old, he came out of the gate and he ran 2 top figures right away in his first 2 starts at race 4, and they were actually only 2 weeks apart. Then he came back another last time out, and he may have bounced a little bit. And generally when that happens, the next race, today's race is the comeback race. They say, okay, the horse bounced. He's got outside speed. Today may be his chance to come back and respond and figure, okay, maybe I got a little bit more time in between races than I did last time. This may be his chance to redeem himself. And he's 5-1 on the morning line. So I went actually in order. It was 3-1-10 for me. In Operation Stevie at 12-1 on top is my long shot in this spot. Ray, what did you think of this allowance? Optional claimer, I guess, is the best word for it.
Oh yeah, tough time with all these horses. But ESG, I don't know. It's probably the former mayor of the town or something.
I'll get it. When we come back for Arkansas Derby, I'll have it.
Yeah, we gotta look this up. Yeah, I actually settled here on the number 7, Mesoma. It's 4-1. Second race off the claim for trainer Chris Hartman, who's runs at 30% angle. Broke his main at Ellis Park in 107-4. So his horse, this is going way back. He's actually a 6-year-old. So, but he had some good speed at that time. But Alex Canchari rides him 16%. I think he'll be more closer to the lead. He could stalk and maybe pounce the pace a little bit. And as the other speed in the races might give a good trip here. I do like your horse, Joe. Number 10, Bolt Hall. He's a speed type. He'll probably be in there. He needs to beat the first turn because he's gonna be way wide. He didn't fight last time at 5-2 in the same class. Like you said, he bounced. I like Ramon Vasquez, Villafranco, 68 races together. And they click at 18%. That's a good sample. He's still in the 9 wins of 2 conditions, so he's not up for a price here. It's an optional claimer. I do like number 9, Luna the Loco. And for you guys who need translation, that means crazy moon. So his second race off a layoff was for for Contreras and Steve Asmussen. I moved Asmussen here. That's wrong. Oops. Um, he was actually prepping for the Triple Crown races last year. If you notice, in Southwest and Spiny Jones didn't run too well, but he did get over the track. He won optional claiming race in the slop. This horse has a little bit of talent, but they're probably going back trying to be an older sprinter here. Maybe that's his forte, and they take a chance here and see if he could do it. So he could come off the pace. So if the pace is right, he might be coming. Those would be my three horses: a 7, the 10, and the 9. All right, Rich, back to you.
Well, and you guys have already caught it. So Joe kind of alluded to it. My top pick is the 10. It's Bolt Hall, and I've gone with this horse, Todd Fletcher angle. So this horse was in Todd Fletcher's barn last year in 2016. I remember seeing him when I was handicapping Gulfstream with Saratoga, and thought that he had some talent. He was switched out of Fletcher's barn, and I believe he ended up in the same ownership group with the owner of the Conquest Stables, and that's how he ended up in the Keeneland November disbursement sale, where he got sold for $20,000. Off of that, he came out in January off of his layoff, and he won his first race. He was dueling, and he finished up third in that second race. Full speed figures in both those. And then their word for 2017 is forgiveness. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a break on that last one and say that he's still the same horse that he was as my top pick. As I am often want to do. I end up backing up stuff like this. So I did like race picks. If nothing else, I just like to say the name that way. For a little while, I just couldn't bypass of go with Steve Hobson's horse, considering the fact that the name player. For God's sakes, how can we not play this name? So, and I thought the horse actually has a chance. I have to pick between the two speed horses who are down on the inside. And it's the choice between Manhattan Mischief and Ray's Warrior. I decided to go with the 1 over the 2. Sorry, Ray. Go with the 1 and the 10. Joe has got the 3. I believe you got the 10 underneath, right? And yes. Then I think, and the 10 on the top. I want anybody to be surprised, but glasses. Even worried as to what I was writing down. Sometimes I start writing down the wrong numbers. Like, oh boy, these are pick 4. So. All right, so we are back, and we are moving along now, and we are on to race 10, and this is the feature. It's a mile and a 16th on the main track. It's the Rebel Stakes, a grade 2. Purse is $900,000 for 3-year-olds only. They have 100 Kentucky Derby points on the line for the Rebel. Okay. 11 starters, and your morning line favorite starts from post number 7. It's American Anthem, trained by Bob Baffert and ridden by Mike Smith. He is 2-1 on the Oaklawn morning line. Ray, I seem to remember a few years ago here at this same track, this same Baffert guy had a horse with this same kind of name. It was American something or other. Okay. Ray, who do you like in the Rebel? And once again, just remember who's watching.
Yeah, American Speedball. That's the next horse. I mean, he'll be on my ticket, but I do like actually number 4, Petrov. I think he wants more distance here. He's out of Flatterer, AP Indy. He was second in Smiley Jones, second in the Southwest. Jose Ortiz, this could be Jose Ortiz's Derby horse. I think he'll get the better figures going along. Third race starting off the layoff. And Ron Marquette has looking to go to the Derby, so I think this horse could run big tomorrow, and probably maybe more in the Arkansas Derby. Look out for him too. So yeah, they're trying to looking to get points here, and I think that this horse he's Triple Crown eligible, so that's what they're going for. I do like number 6, Malagasy, 4-1 to top Pletcher. Malagasy, yeah, number 6. This horse, 2 big brisk figures, 104, 103. That's huge. Sprinting. This is a test for him in both ways. Test for class and test for distance. He's not my top line because I usually don't like picking horses first time stretching out because you just don't know. But I'm gonna give him a chance here. He's out of Shackelford. He'll be on the engine. And Pletcher Castellano, they're a good team, and they could go all the way this race. And then I settled on number 7, American Anthem. No shame here, second to Gormley in the Sham Stakes. And off from last year. And he had a slight layoff here, so Baffert came back and bring him here. I guess he didn't want to. He wanted to stay away from the Santa Anita crew over there. But like I said before, that workout with more spirit, they were pushing each other, and it probably make this horse much better. And who knows, he may be just as good. I mean, I'm saying American Foul, but he may be somewhat close to that expectation. Today, he does have a triple digit bridge figure, and time will tell. Smith and Baffert, he has some bullets there, 112, 15-4 workout, so Bodymeister, he could be the real deal. So that's how I go 4, 6, and 7 in the Rebel. All right, Joe. How you like the Rebel here? Remember the Rebels? They used to had a good football team at Greenpoint.
Don't
back
go
in the
there.
80s.
Don't go there. Anyway, I'll disregard that comment.
Okay.
Only the people from New York would probably know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, your brother's on the team. Your
Yeah,
brother, go on.
Believe me, I know. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
We digress. Honestly, I like this race. I enjoyed handicapping it, but there's really one common theme to me. If you look at it, it seems as if all the best horses have the same style, and that's not going to work. Going a mile in the 16th. Look. I mean, Uncontested is a speed demon. He's going to the lead.
Yeah,
Malagasy, to what we know of, he's only been sprinting. We don't know if he's going to, but his style indicates he's going to the lead. American Anthem's not backing off. You think Baffert's working horses 6 and 111 so that they can be 8th at the quarter pole? Probably not. Royal Mo, another horse who's probably going to go to the lead. And these are all highly rated contenders. I really think, again, I'm seeing speed meltdown here. I do like the same horse you end up on, Ray. I like Petrov. I think he's going to actually sit a little bit further back than he did in the Southwest. And I think Jose Ortiz learned, and I think he's going to make this move a little bit later. And the jocks aren't stupid. They can read the racing for him. And unless all of a sudden one horse gets out there and does 24, then the tactics all change. But based on what I'm seeing in the PPs, there's too much speed in this spot for anybody to go wire to wire. Now, I'm sure we've said that before, and it's happened where a speed horse goes wire to wire. But, I mean, that's possible. I'm going to take my chance against Petrov's 9-2 on the morning line. He's proven over the track. So I'm going to give him a shot to step forward, move a little bit forward. The other horse I like in here is the horse right outside of him, and that's Untrapped. Steve Asmussen, another closer. Again, third start off the layoff. An improving second in the Risen Star. Again, it's the same angle I used with the horse earlier in the race in Domain's Wrap, in that Gervin had the rail trip that got him to win the Risen Star, and Untrapped was a little wide around the far turn. So maybe he got the advantage. He got the upper hand. So I think this horse can move forward. So basically, like I said, I just see a lot of speed, and I think at least a couple of them are going to disappoint because they're not going to run well. Obviously, Uncontested is a speed demon, and he's the most likely one for me to back up first. But Wayne Catalano's been saying, look, those works aren't telling me that he's backing off. Royal Mo's a speed. American Anthem's a speed. I guess I'm just repeating myself, but I expect a lot of speed. And I think the two most talented closers in the field are the 4 and the 5. So I'm going Petrov over Untapped. So to me, it's an Ortiz Brothers exacta. Rich, I will hand it off to you.
All right. And so first of all, I'll correct the incorrect statement that I had there at the beginning, and that's why I need to get my glasses. I've got the Arkansas Derby and the Rebel up here. The Rebel is worth 50 Kentucky Derby points. The Arkansas Derby is worth 100. So I have my check mark here on American Anthem. So Bob Baffert and Mike pick is a 10, Royal Mo, so John Sheriff, Victor Espinoza. For those of you out there who watch our show or watched in the past and you're really surprised that we picked the California horses, please just raise your hand really, really high and Joe will come around and tap you on the head with a hammer. But I have my reasons. I've seen Baffert here at this track before. This is just the 3-year-old race for Arkansas, and he dominates. And American Anthem, I haven't actually seen the horse race before. He's only had 2 races to date so far. And he does look like he's your typical speed type, your typical Bob Baffert horse. I've seen other Bob Baffert horses that were typical like this by the names of Bodemeister and American Pharaoh come into races that look very, very similar to this and simply draw off the wrong way. I backed up with Royal Mo. Hey, there's a nod to Ray's favorite sire. But this horse has been right in form since the beginning. As a matter of fact, you could argue he hasn't taken a bad step in his career. He's got 2 seconds and he's got 2 firsts. He won the Bob Lewis by 3.5 lengths, and he seems like a real solid type. He's one of the only ones in here who's got a victory at this distance. So, and let's see who he's got. Not California Chrome's rider, not American Pharaoh's rider. It's, Royal Mo. So this could be Victor Espinoza. I just went with the 7 and the 10. My top 2 choices. I believe, Joe, you've got the 4 and the 5. And I believe Ray has as his top choices the 4, the 6, and the 7?
Yeah.
And the 7. Okay. All right, so we're good.
I think Baffert won this race 6 times. So. Go for lucky
7. He named the track. All right, and I am back one more time here. And we are moving along to the finale. And this is race number 11. They're going 1 mile and a 16th, also on the main track. This is an optional claimer for non-winners of 1 race. The purse is $82,000, and again, that includes $53,300 from the ESG Purse Fund. For 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won a race, other than maiden, claiming, or starter, which have never won 2 races, or claiming price of $16,000. 13 starters, and your morning line favorite at 3-1 is in post number 2, trained by Phil Sims and ridden by Chris Landeros. Just a note about Oaklawn and the purse money. I'd like to take this race, for example. Our claimers running for a purse of $1,000. That's a pretty nice send-off gift, if you ask me. And Joe, I'd like to ask you, Allie at Oaklawn Park.
The favorite. Sorry to have to put it that way. He's got a good draw, good trainer, not the Giants quarterback, in case anybody was really thinking that's possible. Takes the blinkers off, but this is more about who he's run against. 3 horses came out of that last race to win. 3 horses came out of the race at Keeneland that he won to win in their second start. Speed figures have been getting better. First time he's debuting as a 4-year-old. He's been running against older before, so this is really not anything new to him. The only thing I hasten to say is that he's only 1 for 10 and he's finished 5 times in the exacta. So he has a tendency to run underneath. So again, I think he's going to get the best trip. He's a closer. This track plays pretty fair. I just think he's got the best figures and he's got the best chance to win. But because of that, because of the tendency to finish underneath in the exacta and in the try, I can't single him. So the other horse I went with is the 3, Dan the Go-To Man. Love the name. Coming out of a similar race to this where he ran second behind Pinson. Again, horse has been running well. Second, 4 times in a row. Again, another horse who tends to run underneath in the exacta. But again, another closer in a race where I think there's going to be enough speed to set it up. I like the inside draws. I see King Maynard's got some speed. Spirit Grabber's a speed horse. Amaze is another speed horse. So I think, again, it's going to set up for a closer. And I think as opposed to playing the favorites that drew outside with that abundance of speed, if Big Red Rocket and Leo Frick go to the lead. They may be 4 or 5 wide around that first turn. So I'll take the inside draw and the closers. So I'll take the 2 and the 3. Unfortunately, they're short prices, but I guess sometimes you just have to hit what's pitched. So 2-3 for me, right?
All right, in this race, you just mentioned my horse. I do like number 12, Leo Frick. Castellano, the last race on Oaklawn Park. I mean, he should be on the plane by then. But he stays around and rides for Cox, so that's a good sign. I like that. He's a late developer, but he just broke his maiden in his last race. After he was previously trained by Howard. He's got speed to prompt the pace. He may get caught wide, so Castellano has to be careful to try to save some ground. His breeding suggests that long races, um, no, I'm sorry. His breeding suggests that he he can go a little longer and run like 4 or 5 year olds, so out of Candy Ride. So I think this horse will get better with age. I mean, claiming ranks or whatever, but these horses could they run, and I think that the Castellano just has to try and just get out of the gate and just try and move inside a little bit. And with all the speed in the race, he should be able to get up. I do like number 3, Dan, the go-to man. Yeah, that's a good name. He's had a case of seconds lately. I think the switch to Ramon Vasquez may help. He's got 12 starts, 1 win, 6 seconds. JR Cardwell is 14% for the week, for the meet, for the year actually. A little slumping at the meet, but he got a good percentage for the year. And Ricardo Sanchez rides him, and that's a good jockey switch also. He may finally break through in this race. Uh, he just needs that little nudge. He's been beaten by neck, by 2, by 1, by neck. So it won't take much. But it's his 4th race of the cycle, and he's getting a little better. So that's what I like. So I like the 12, Lil Frick at 3, Dan the go-to man. All right, Rich, it's up to you. This nice claiming race to wrap it up.
Nice big price and a nice big purse for a claiming race as well. So
Yeah,
you can see my check mark right there. It's on Dan the go-to man. I did like the name as well. I thought that the 4 seconds, I would like to watch these. I'm not sure if my morning's going to allow me to watch racing tomorrow morning or if I'll be over at the San Luis Racing Training Center. But to see these races just to make sure that I'm not looking at a horse that possibly hangs, I do see the word that kind of eliminates that, which is game here. And most race callers do not give that to horses that hang. That's more the opportunity that's given to a horse that's really trying and giving everything they have at the wire. Also, the 3 races that he's finishing second in that we're looking at here, they're better races than we're looking at today. This last one is very similar, right? The ran similar second versus similar in the last race. Missed by a no. So again, if you like forgiveness, give it another shot. J.R. Caldwell, Ricardo Santana Jr. hit 38% together on a sample size of 8. And I think this is my winner for today. If I was going to back it up, and I am going to back it up in this particular race, so I've got the 3 on my top line. I am going to use the favorite as well. I would use Our Track for many of the reasons that you heard Mr. English bring up, as far as who he's run against and where he was running. I'm not crazy. The reason that I was torn between the 2, the 3, and the 11. So I really was kind of going, back and forth. The thing that drew me off from Our Track at this point in time, despite the cool name for the 3 of us to say, wow, this is Our Track, was the poor record from 90 Days Away from a very large sample for Hall of Fame quarterback Phil Simms. That 90 Days Away, he's only hitting it 10% on a sample size of almost 60. It gives you the blinkers off here. The horse does not race with blinkers off very often. You can see that was how he started his career. And he had no success without the blinkers on, initially. All of his wins were all with the blinkers. But, Bill Sims coming under pressure in the pocket. Maybe he's looking for other things to do here. And I'm not sure that this is the right one as far as taking it. I'm going to toss the favorite. He does look talented enough, and he looks like he's got skills that would be a winner. If I had enough ticket, and it's on my personal ticket, I don't know if I've got a single earlier to get me to being able to go 3 deep here. But if I could, I would also use the number 11 I like Big Red Rocket for Albert Stahl, John Fort, the John Fort, from California. This horse hasn't done much wrong in his career. He's had 4 lifetime starts. He's a little bit lighter today, obviously. And coming off a layoff in that last one in February, looked pretty good, winning a 10 horse maiden race right here at Oaklawn. So if I have enough, I would actually use Big Red Rocket as well. I would go 3-2 with the 11 underneath. Just 2-3, and I think Ray has 12-3.
Okay.
Is that correct as well? As we get ready to go over to what I think of as our kind of our new segment right now, which is our individual pick fours. And so, just to set the stage for everybody, if you wonder what we're getting ready to do here is, Ray and Joe have been nice enough. Each week they are sharing with the audience four. So I'm going to go ahead and go behind the scenes. I'll pull up our template and I'll start doing the magic to give you what the three broke guys consensus pick four is, or consensus pick four if you like. And Joe and Ray are going to take you into their individual pick fours. Put that up on the screen for you. And Ray, you're going to get to go ahead and go first this week.
Okay. Ooh, don't like that year today. Yeah, I want some money here. You ever done a column for the next digit?
That's how pick fours go.
Yeah, I know.
That's how pick four players go.
Yeah, one big score, boom. Okay, here we go. Well, I'm gonna do a pair $27 ticket here. I'm gonna go 3 deep in the first leg with Essex. I got the favorite More Spirit in there. I got Down More and Shotgun Cowboy, second choice. So pretty much like that with the favorite. I'm hoping that Down More and Shotgun Cowboy give me a price in this first leg. In the ninth race, I do like Messima on top for the Chris Hartman bond. Boat Trip and Luna the Loco, the two good price horses. I'm staying away from the favorite in this race. Trying to get a price here again. Then in the Rebel, I do like Petrov. And I throw in the Malagasy. I think has a good future. And American Anthem, who's obviously could likely win it here, but hoping Petrov does run well. He's my key horse here. In the 11th race, I only went 2 deep. Leo Frick and Dan to go to man 3 to 12. And that's it. It's a very simple, concise ticket. I didn't go Keno this week. I was very conservative, and there was really no horses I wanted to single. I didn't see More Spirit as a single, so that's why I spread out at least a 3 in each race until the last race. So that's my ticket for $27. 2 and 4 with the 7, 9, 10, 4, 6, 7, and 3, 12. Play it and hopefully we win. All right, Joe. I like your ticket. You're a little more deeper than me.
Well, I just got to get through the first leg.
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe it's the Swami angle, having met the Brooklyn Cowboy that I like. When I saw the PPs for race 8 and the first horse was Shotgun Cowboy, I was like, wait a minute, this is almost too good to be true. So I already went into my picks for race 8, so I don't need to go any further. And race 9, I already mentioned them as part of the show. But I'm going to mention 2 other horses in race 10. And obviously, I threw in American Anthem on my ticket. Bafford's success with 3-year-olds at Oaklawn Park is really undeniable. So regardless of how it shakes out, because I don't have either of the favorites in the first race of the sequence, I feel okay with putting Bafford's horse, the 7 American Anthem, in the Rebel. But again, I just think there's a lot of speed. And I actually went, I don't generally do this, I went with a maiden in that race as well. If you see that number 3 tile is Sonneteer, trained by Keith DeSormo, who might know a little something about winning Triple Crown races and Triple Crown prep races. I just think the horse is going to benefit from the speed duel up front. He's been running at Santa Anita, which is generally a speed favoring track anyway, and he's been closing on a speed favoring track, generally getting up into the exacta behind horses like, as you can see, Royal Mo, Reach the World, who might actually end up showing up in the Santa Anita Derby. based on what happened to Mastery last week and the, I don't want to say the demise of Mastery more than anything else, but the fact that Gormley didn't run up to expectations, but he's also finished behind So Conflated. So horses that are decent horses, and again, over a speed favoring Santa Anita surface that generally isn't as kind to closes as Oaklawn Park would be. So again, if I see the speed set up as I think it is, this was just 30-1. I mean, why, if you're gonna go bombs away, you might as well. If you're gonna put a maiden and you're gonna get somebody 30-1, I mean, this is the spot to do it. And again, I just see a speed meltdown in the Rebel, perhaps, and we'll see about. I guess we'll see about that in a few hours. But the last in race 11, I wanted to add one more horse. I wanted to add the 9 Lang Dharma. The horse is trained by Greg Compton, who's 2 for 36 on the meet. He's a better trainer than that. But if you look 2 back, the horse actually won a race by 4 lengths in a non-winners or 2 lifetime spot, and finished 3rd in the same race that Dan, the go-to man, comes out of last time. And basically, the barn has been running pretty cold, and this horse is one of the 2 horses that he won with at the meet. So this is one of the horses that's running at least decently for the barn. So obviously, he's shown a little bit more than others in this spot, and he's a decent enough price on the morning line. He's 15-1. So if some of my long shots come in, heck, I've got the 3 in race 9 at 12-1 morning line. I got Sonneteer at 30-1 as part of my pick 4. And I've got the 9 Lang Dharma at 15-1 as part of my pick 4. I may be sitting up for stacks on Saturday afternoon or late Saturday afternoon if things go well. So $36 investment for me. Yeah, believe me, it's one thing I know you're not supposed to do it, but sometimes I carry my Social Security card with me just in case of situations like that.
That's right. Yeah.
So $36 ticket for me. And Rich, is the template ready?
Yeah, we are ready. Here I come.
Well, you know what TV does, right? They send it $10.99 in the mail. So you get
TVG. Oh no. I wouldn't be betting it through my TVG account. If I was going to bet it, I'd either go to the track or I'd go to an on-site, OTB type place. But yeah, no, I figured that they would send it $10.99
in the mail. Yeah, it's a nice present.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? It's fine. It's a present I'd take every day of my life.
Oh yeah, sure, definitely. Yeah.
All right, we're ready to go here. So, and again, we're looking at, and just so everybody's clear, on the pick 4 tickets that you just saw, Joe and Ray have kind of agreed to be on Scouts Honor. So they limit themselves to a $50 ticket on a weekly basis for anybody who's wondering. So, all right, up on the screen is our pick 4 for the week so far. And again, the rules are is we're looking for a little consensus. So we've got 3 of us here, and that's how we kind of have brokered this together. And so if you get to, you match up your picks with another player and things like that, I'll go ahead and put your number on the ticket. Doesn't mean that you're out. Sometimes we go ahead and add them back. Last week we added everybody in one of the races. So in the first leg, let's see, we all had the 1. All 3 of us were pretty confident on the 1 there. I see the 2 as well is on Ray and my ticket. And I believe the 7 is on Joe's ticket, and the 7 appears on the bottom portion of my ticket. So we've got the 1, the 2, and the 7 at this point in time. In our second race, again, I see the 1 on Joe's ticket, and I see the 1 on my ticket. 10, I matched up my 10 with actually Ray. Joe, you've got the 10 on your second line, and I have the 10 on my top line. Number 3, I've got the 4, and Joe and Ray, you guys matched up the 4 together. And then we also have the 7, and Ray, that's you and me. We matched up the 7. Final leg there, leg number 4. We've got the 2, and let's see, that was Joe and me matched up the 2. The 3 is actually in all 3 of us. So the 3 is on all 3 of our lines. And that's what we said so far. So that would be a $12. 24 option. And I'll go ahead. Ray, I think you had the 4 as your top choice in leg number 1. Is that correct?
Yes.
I could not remember. I forget to write. I forget to search before our top choice.
Hold on.
We've only been on the air for like 64 weeks together, and I'm still working it all out.
Let me get my phone on my.
Working out the kinks.
Working out the kinks, yeah. Still tinkering.
And the first leg, it was a 2.
Oh, the first leg you had the 2 as your top pick? Okay.
And then the 7, the 4, and the 12.
So you have more spirit.
Yeah, top, yeah.
All right. That's the same thing. All right.
The 7 and race 2,
Eddie?
leg 2, he's not there. And the 12 and the last leg, he's not there. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, we've got room. We can add. I can add the 12 here in leg 4 if you want, or I can add the. I believe it's the 7 in leg 2. And I would advise this at least in one of those 2 races because those are the 2 kind of wide open claiming races that they've got
Right,
here at this track.
yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, last year, a year ago, that's what knocked us out. It wasn't the stakes races; it was the claiming races that we couldn't dial in at Oaklawn Park. So, pick your poison, right? You want the 7 in leg 2, or do you want the 12 in leg 4, or?
Gentlemen, may I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Just if we add both, the ticket becomes 27.
Yep. Oh, there you go.
Just saying.
Yeah, 1, 7, 10. And 2, 3, and 12.
Okay, yeah.
Fun.
Yes, we have some coverage, yeah.
All right. Looking at a ticket that shows 1, 2, 7, and 10 with 4, 7 with 2, 3, 12. And I'm good with that because the Rebel is where the leg that we have the shortest coverage in. For anybody who's watching.
We got the best horses in the Rebel, right?
Sadly, you know what, man? To be honest with you, like I said, to me, of all of the 4 races, the Rebel was the toughest one.
Yeah.
You had tough start with the Rebel.
It was not necessarily trouble. I'm just trying to. I mean, like I said, I just see. I see so much speed, and it's like it can't. It just can't play out that way. But that's just the way I see it. So, but
for those of you who are going to be, and if you are, for those of you out there who enjoy betting on the Rebel, I should have I don't know this, but that is one of TVG's win bet back races. So if you bet on the winner in that race, it happens to finish in 2nd or 3rd, you get your bet back. For those of you who are on TVG and you haven't done this already, you do need to opt into that promotion, and you only need to opt in once. So if you've already opted in, you're good for the whole year to go, like me and Ray are. But if you haven't opted in, go ahead and get opted in at TVG, and then bet on the Rebel, and you can bet heavy up to $15. They will give you your win bet back if your horse finishes 2nd or 3rd.
4th, you get nothing.
Yeah, 4th you get nothing.
That happened to me a few times. So.
4th you get nothing.
I'm screaming to host for the show spot.
11th you get nothing.
Yeah.
No,
it's a nice promotion. I like it.
This race is a tough race. To be honest, if American Anthem was not running in this race, I could easily see a 4-1 favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It's that.
All right, Joe, you get that one down? You got our pick 4 ticket?
Yes, I do.
All right, come back to you for now.
And that might have given us an all button in that race if American Anthem was there, because this is wide open.
All right.
But you'll see the winner. You'll see the winner on Derby Day. Given good health.
Okay, so for those of you watching, if you enjoyed the show, we will be back next week because, well, that's what the 3 broke guys do. We will get together and take a look at another exciting card, and this time it's going to be a first for us. So it's Sunland Park in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're doing the Sunland Derby Day and a special Saturday night broadcast from the 3 Broke Guys Handicapping. So we are going to be on the air on Saturday. Sunland Derby actually takes place on Sunday, so that's the reason for the extra day. Give us an extra day to get our handicapping sharpened for you. All right, gentlemen, that's all the time we have for tonight. It is always a pleasure to handicap with the 2 of you.
Yes, always.
Enjoy it and look forward to next week.
Every week, yep.
For Joe English and Ray Torado, I'm Rich Sharp. Thank you for watching 3 Broke Guys Handicapping. Good luck and good night.